Right then, guys, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do it's pretty much a quick video on obviously Tarkov and the Unheard edition of the game. Essentially, from some of the videos that I've got up at the moment, a bit of speculation around, the good, the bad, and the ugly about the actual Unheard edition itself. So I wanted to clear up a few things first of all, and obviously sort of put people in the picture. So I know the comments have been going off a little bit, which is good, of course. But I just wanted to sort of clear a lot of things up. So I've got here basically the good points, the bad points, and the sort of neither here nor there points, if you like, the points that really don't make a difference regardless of anything. So I just wanted to briefly go over them really. What I want to say first of all as well, we hit 50 subscribers, which is fantastic. That's a huge little goal that I set for myself, which we actually reached it relatively quickly. So thank you everybody for obviously watching, supporting, and obviously subscribing as well. You're all awesome. So yeah, let's have a go then. Let's have a little look to see what we've got. So I've got it split here into good points and bad points, and then the neither here nor there points, and we'll sort of go through them. So some of the good points about the Unheard edition here is the guaranteed access to the instant close beta. I would hope so as a standard, to be fair, that if you're going to be paying the price for this edition, regardless of whether you're a new player and you go and you spend $250 or £250, whatever it would equate to in it, or whether you're just upgrading, which they did put it as $100. Now they've changed it to 40, I think it's like 47 or 49.99. It works out at about £53 when you actually purchase it. So obviously, if you're going to be doing this, you're going to want access to that closed beta and also to the digital copy preload, which is also what they grant here. They also give you the access to the PvE co-op mode with persistent progression. So obviously the progression that won't be reset with the wipes. Now, one of the big things that I wanted to point out with that is obviously that's where the controversy really kicked off. I mean, obviously Edge of Darkness edition owners have had this game for the last 6-7 years, and obviously they've made the game essentially what it is. I was making the point to some of my mates that it's not really even the case of we want all of the this is obviously before I purchased the Unheard edition at the lower price, but we were sort of in discussions about obviously it's disgusting what they're doing in a sense, because ultimately if you're going to be saying to people who've been supporting your game for 6-7 years that you're not going to have this now, we're going to release this, and basically the access to the DLC side of things is now not something that still stands moving forward technically, because you've taken away the PvE access to Edge of Darkness edition owners, then they have every right to sort of kick off. And I think that's the big thing for me, is that we do want that other Tarkov experience, the single player, the sort of PvE version of the game, which is obviously I say in some of the comments that there is obviously a calling for it, otherwise things like single player Tarkov wouldn't exist. So it's a little bit it was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. And I think the biggest thing for myself, I mean there's people who've owned this game for longer than me, but I've had it since beginning of 2021, and although I don't have a massive following, I did used to stream the game on Twitch quite regularly, probably for my first at least 120 subscribers or followers on Twitch I streamed to. So even if a few of those were to go off and go, what, actually it looks like a good game, I'll purchase it, I've contributed as well to the success of the game by doing that. And then you've got all these other streamers who have got thousands and thousands of followers who are obviously doing the same thing, and it is a bit of a kick in the face, I can imagine. So I can see where the hate is sort of coming from. One of the other good points though on here, I mean obviously the PvE has now been opened up and it will be coming in waves to Edge of Darkness edition owners as well, which is great. It shouldn't have come to the point where everybody had to rally with the pitchforks and the torches to obviously get that, but they have. Nikita apologised on Reddit. If you haven't checked that out, obviously go and have a little look. He's done a full breakdown basically of what both editions will consist of and who will have access to them, which shouldn't have come to that, but it is what it is. It's personally, I don't see it killing Tarkov because of how niche and well polished, and I say that loosely, but how well polished the game is. There's not really anything else like that. Grey Zone Warfare, obviously big hype around that at the moment. I actually enjoy that game myself, to be honest, and the gameplay loop. However, it doesn't look the best or isn't very optimized at the moment, so my computer can't physically run it. So, you know, there's people out there who are having, you know, great success with it, other people not so much. Me, myself, I've got a 1660 Super, so obviously I'm going to struggle, to be fair. So I do need to upgrade it myself, but do I think Grey Zone Warfare will kill Tarkov? Nope, not a chance. And the reason for it is, you know, through all of it all, you know, regardless of the PvE mode in Tarkov, everybody likes that competitiveness, especially in this day and age, especially since COVID as well, being the big boom of gaming. And I think, you know, PvE is crucial, and I don't think Grey Zone Warfare has enough of that at the moment. Obviously, it's really early stages. I think it's got a bright future ahead of it, and I think with the way that the devs are at the moment, my God, they're fantastic by the sounds of it, and by the looks of it as well, from what they've done so far and the implementations that they've put in with hot fixes and different things within, you know, hours of the game being in early access. So, you know, very bright future. Don't think it'll kill Tarkov, and I also think there's quite a few people out there that, like me, had a bit of a sort of bitter taste in their mouth, but also wants to get into the PvE side of Tarkov. So I think they'll be very happy that this has now been opened up to Edge of Darkness Edition owners. However, there is a catch. It's been released in waves, so, and I've got quite a few of my friends who haven't actually got it yet, even though it was stated that, you know, but this video is coming out on 4th of the 5th. I think it was stated that yesterday it was when they were going to start rolling it out, so I imagine it'd be very similar to Arena when that was released. And then finally, another good point, they have to give something like this, really. I don't think that this is a bad point at all, because Edge of Darkness Edition owners have got bigger stash size anyway, but it's obviously that enhanced stash size that you get with the Unheard Edition, that's obviously great, which is a 10 by 72 stash, which is pretty cracked, but don't see that being a bad point. If Edge of Darkness owners have got a bigger stash in comparison to the standard edition, then we can't really moan if people are paying more for obviously bigger stash sizes. And of course you can upgrade and expand with the expansions that they've got on the actual website anyway. I think it's like $3 to upgrade your stash or something daft like that. Right, so that brings me on to some of the bad points. Obviously, expanded PMC pockets. I've got to say, I think that's really cursed, and this is coming from somebody obviously who does own this edition. It is a big game changer, to be honest, having those pockets. I think it's split now where you've got 2 single pockets and then 2 doubles as well, so enough to carry two standard size mags, or 2 30 round mags, in some 60 rounders as well. So, you know, you've got that expanded PMC pocket slots. It does make a big difference. You can carry more with you. It is, you know, it is going to make a big difference to people playing and being able to get certain things out. That's a standard as well. So, you know, again, is it really pay to win? Not to the ridiculous amount, but, you know, it is pay for convenience essentially, isn't it? Let's face it. Got more pockets, more slots. It's more, you know, essentially more loot that you can even bring out with you realistically as well. So, you know, it just depends on how you look at it. It's not going to make a massive groundbreaking difference, but it's still there. So, you know, that's a big one. Increased fence standing. Now, I was to and throwing about this one as well. So, although it doesn't make a massive difference, ultimately it could potentially lead to obviously scavs spawning in, you know, like player control scavs spawning in with obviously better guns, giving an advantage over early PMCs, you know. So if you're running a PMC and I mean, the M4 in the game is, the recoil's just terrible anyway, so I mean, good luck shooting with that. But, you know, if you haven't got that gun and all you end up having as a PMC, then it's going to be like I don't know, your sagas or different things like that, and then you're going up against people, you know, even scavs with a FAL is you know, quite a big it's quite a big advantage really, but as a standard in the game, it's hit and miss whether or not you're going to spawn in with that until you do start ranking up that fence standing. So obviously if you have got that increased standing already, it could lead to complications, and that I don't know the ins and outs of whether that's still something that's going to happen, or if that'll have an effect. But that's just something that I've been itching my head about, thinking, well, that could potentially lead to that sort of slight advantage over PMCs. Again, a lot of these are just slight advantages, I'm not going to lie. There's nothing that when we purchased the edition, me and my mate purchased the edition, there's nothing that we both thought, wow, this is groundbreaking. I mean, for instance, you have those I think the one big thing was that little device, that special device that you have, the Unheard device that you put in your special slot, and it stopped scavs shooting at you from a certain distance when you hit a certain level. But we found out quite quickly that if you actually run that on your PMC and you kill scavs, you lose scav rep. So realistically, you're only probably best off taking that in with you when you go to a map that's got like a sniper scav, for instance, when you've upgraded or updated those skills, or so again, it's not really groundbreaking advantage, if I'm being honest. And then more slots on the flea market, I mean, you can obviously make money quicker then, so it does have a slight effect on it as well. So there's some of the bad points really. Apart from that, and obviously apart from the fact that it's a bit of a slap in the face for people who own EOD edition, it's not like anything that's ridiculously bad. I'd probably say the expanded PMC pockets are probably the biggest one, and the fact that originally they weren't going to give people who've got EOD access to PvE, which, may I add as well at this point, that when we purchased the EOD edition for £150-160, whatever it was, we were told that all subsequent DLCs would be that's what you buy into essentially. So to take that away and trying to sort of change what a DLC is and what the meaning is, it doesn't really work. There's definitely different descriptions out there of what DLC is, so obviously go and have a little look yourselves and check that out if needs be. But I think we are all quite aware of what a DLC is. Neither here nor there. So on this list I've put a few things on here. So unique in-game melee weapon, it's an asset flip, it's £5 off the I think it's off the Unreal store or the Unity store, something along those lines, probably Unity store. Does it look good? It's okay. Have I used it? Probably once. Like, if we're being realistic, it's not pay to win. Yeah, it's a cool, nice little feature of here you go. It makes you feel like you're getting something more for your money. But the realistic truth of it is that it's not really anything to sort of sing and dance about. Increased mail retention time. I would have probably put this on bad points, but I mean, if you're playing the game, you get enough time anyway. It's not the end of the world. The only thing I can see being a bad thing is if you're obviously going on holiday and you're waiting for sort of returning insurance. Yeah, it can be a bit bad because you probably miss it, but again, I think even with the increased retention time, if you were to go on holiday, unless you went on holiday for a couple of days and then came back, you're probably going to miss it anyway. So I've put it on neither here nor there. I don't think it's the end of the world. Unique in-game ID. I can probably only see this being a bad point at the moment because I know the backlash, a lot of people are targeting people, or a lot of cheaters are targeting people with that. I think recently it has been updated to say that you can change the icon, you can change the colour and different things, which is going to be implemented. That's not a part of it yet, so we'll see how that goes, but I don't think it's neither here nor there really. It just depends on people and hackers, I guess. If you're playing PvE though, no stress. And then additional background screen option. To be fair, it looks quite cool, but it's on neither here nor there, let's face it. Then the two that are sort of wandering around in the grey, I guess, are the free access to all DLC or subsequent DLC, season pass, and early access test servers. So obviously we've seen what this consists of with EOD, and they kind of went back on that a little bit, if we're going to be honest. And now obviously they've said, nope, sorry, we messed up, that's not the case, we didn't expect the backlash. So hopefully now that will mean what it means, and then nobody moving forward will have any issues, whether you've got EOD or whether you've got Unheard. So just wanted to throw this out there really. It's just my sort of take on it, because I know a lot of people are like, sort of not criticising, but are like, why purchase it, why not just wait? There are a couple of things that are convenient, especially when you're looking at the PvE side of things. I think for me, I wanted to sort of get into that PvE, and to be honest, when I did purchase this, it was told that we were going to get PvE at EOD edition, but there wasn't a time scale as to when. So had I known, would I have probably upgraded? Probably not, if I'm being honest. I don't think that there's enough in there to warrant an upgrade. I just think it's convenient that obviously we get to play it now, and I've been able to play, and I'm obviously ahead of the curve, let's say, for instance, for the PvE. But I mean, it's PvE, so what does that matter? But yeah, just wanted to give my my thoughts and my process on this, because you know, one of the big things is I am impartial. I agree with some things, I don't agree with other things, and the point is that that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. I haven't supported them by paying ridiculous amounts of money, but at the same time I still want to support the game because I do enjoy it. It's probably my favourite game. So, you know, as long as there's that sort of in between of, right, okay, I don't agree with the pay to win side of things, because some of the things are, but realistically I did purchase the game for the PvE. That's what I'm going to sort of run with. So, you know, obviously it'd be interesting to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Drop them in the comments. There's no such thing as a bad comment, really. Do you know what I mean? We're sort of not about this anyway. You know, everybody's got their own viewpoints, and I think it's important to sort of share those. So it'd be interesting to see what you guys think, because the likelihood is I'll probably agree with them. But like I say, you've seen the points that I think are quite good and the things that I enjoy with it. Let me know what you think. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. We've got some fantastic videos coming out soon for the single player Tarkov side of things. We've already got Woods, which was a failed run, and then Woods 2.0, which was a successful run doing the location of Prappa's convoy. So that was a good quest to do. And just if anybody's wondering of how we're going to be doing the sort of videos moving forward, it's going to be quest based, really. So we'll do, you know, we'll cover as many quests as possible. Obviously I still want to play the game as well, so you know, in between, of course, recording for the YouTube channel and having fun and playing with it, there'll be little gaps in there, but nothing major, because I do try to cover 90% of the raids that I actually do. So yeah, like I say, I'll catch you in the next one, guys. I hope you're enjoying the videos. You're all fantastic. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one.